go, Lord Jamar.
Vlad.
Welcome back.
What's poppin'?
I mean, your new dog is popping right now.
This is my new little man, Boston Terrier. His name is Bruno.
Bruno
Mowgli.
Bruno Mowgli.
Because he's a lady killer.
Okay, who was Bruno Mowgli?
Bruno Mowgli is the shoes that OJ wore.
Ah.
Fucking.
Yeah, I knew the name. I couldn't remember
what
what
he do his dirty work. So yeah, that's a brand. That's a brand of high-end shoes.
The shoes he claimed he never owned, but then they found photos of him wearing those
they
shoes.
like some real high-end shoes. So, you know, he not Bruno Mars, he Bruno Mowgli and shit. He a lady killer. My other Boston, Bugsy, he passed away from Lyme disease. That shit was pretty traumatic, you know, to the family and all of that. So, whatever. We got a new one now, and he's on the scene.
Right, to go with the with the
with
pit bull.
Right, my other boy, Anubis, who is now
a monster.
Trying to sit him in my lap would be ridiculous. And
right.
He's not even 2 years old right now.
Exactly. Yeah, by 2 years though, most big dogs get most of their size.
Right.
You know, like my Rottweiler after
but
2 years.
He's not 2 yet, is what I'm saying. Like
still
he's
growing.
He's
then.
still growing.
That's what's up.
He's a monster.
So first and foremost, the Yanadameen Godcast. Sorry,
Okay.
not the
Yes,
podcast,
sir.
the
Yes,
Godcast.
sir. That's right.
Which we posted.
Thank you, sir, and
Of
I
course.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that was a good shot in the arm for our debut.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Because I see some comments like, "Oh, how come you don't post the Jamar shit?" We did post the Jamar shit, motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Pay attention.
Early. Didn't
Early.
even have to ask.
Yeah, no,
Respect.
I told y'all, you know. And man, listen, our relationship, you know, we support each other in whatever else we do. You know, there's some cool behind the scenes shit that you've been working on recently that we're not going to announce yet. But, you know, I've been, you know, working my magic behind the scenes with that and everything else like that. Like, man, listen, you know, it goes beyond what we do here on camera.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So why'd you launch it, number one?
Well, by popular demand. It's like I come on here all the time and, you know, people's like, you need your own podcast, you need your own show. It's not, the Vlad don't be long enough sometimes, or you need to go more in depth and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and I'm just like, you know, I've been listening to it for a long time and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should. But it's not like, in my mind, I ever set out to really, you know, do some shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? It just I didn't set out to do this either though. It shit just kind of happens, like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
if y'all resonate with me like this and you want to hear what I have to say and you know what I mean, and my certain opinions on things, and you know, you're also gonna see my interview skills though, of how I interview people, my interview style, and yeah, now that I think about it, I was kind of born for this. Like this is a no-brainer for me. So yeah, you know what I mean? Godcast with Lord Jamar. When I say Godcast, you know, for me that's raising the level of a podcast. You know, to me, I see a lot of guys just sitting in front of mics and, you know, one camera, and I don't know. I feel like the production value can be better, you know? So that's what I'm striving to do, raise the production value of a so-called podcast. So now everybody got to step their fucking game up.
Right.
Yeah, you know, my man Vlad's the one that told me the 4K cameras. So what did I do? I went and got the 4K cameras. Matter of fact, I got some joints like these, baby. Yeah. So yeah. You know, I'm going to do it every week, drop them on a Sunday. You know, for some people, that's going to be their church, you know. And, yeah, we're going to get you on there.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I mean? We're going to get you on there.
I got you,
See
man.
how the beard is coming out, boy.
I know, right?
If y'all can see this beard right now, god damn, he looking biblical over there.
Looking like Moses.
Yeah, looking like Moses, Mustar.
Donald Trump called African countries shitholes.
Shithole countries like Africa, certain African countries, and
Haiti and I think El Salvador.
Oh yeah, all places filled with original dark-skinned people.
Yeah.
But are we surprised? Like, why? I'm not surprised. That's a code word. Shithole, could be a code word for nigger countries. Yeah. Matter of fact, that's the code word. That is what the code word for. Why are we letting all these people from these shithole countries? Why are we not letting more people in, like, from Norway, is what he went on to say.
Right. Those are cool.
Of course.
Come on over.
Nordic, blonde hair, blue-eyed countries. Get your asses over here.
Yeah.
That's what we need to fortify and make America great again, is some good, blonde hair, blue-eyed white people.
It's Aryans.
Aryans. Straight up. That was one of fucking Hitler's strongholds. He loved fucking Norway and shit like that.
Mm.
He had like vacation homes out there and shit. Loved the boys out there. He loved them.
Yeah, and Trump denied it. Said, I didn't say that.
Exactly.
The way he lies.
He didn't fully deny it. First of all, nobody from the White House press secretary, nobody said that he didn't say it. He tried to say, I didn't say it like that in those terms. That motherfucker said it. And it's just like, if that's your outlook, if that's your outlook on these countries, what is your outlook on everything else that has to do with people like this? You see, people that look like this and that come from these places. They're shitholes, so fuck them. You see what I'm saying? They're black people. Fuck them. I don't even, after Omarosa, I don't even want to fuck with no black people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I thought I saw the last of them with that motherfucker. And now y'all talking about bringing some more in from these shitholes? Are you fucking crazy?
Shithole countries, man.
And then we, this is the man who's supposed to be your leader. This is supposed to be your fucking leader, and this fucking guy is the worst.
Yeah, and apparently a senator, Senator Richard J. Durbin, a Democrat from Illinois, said that Trump said that. He went back. He went on the record and said that Trump is lying. Like, Trump did say that.
I see. This is the difference between like off the head rapper and a rapper who writes their rhymes. Like, cause your boy Trump is freestyling all of this shit.
Oh,
like, all of this shit is just off the head. You see? Like Obama, you could tell he wrote his rhymes. He was calculated with his shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's thinking before he speaks. This motherfucker, he'll speak before he thinks. You see? That's the difference between, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. See, you think, then you speak, and then you have a good understanding. So then you also have wisdom, knowledge, misunderstanding. You see what I'm saying? When you put the word or the action before the thought, and then that's when you get a misunderstanding. He's wisdom, knowledge. You see what I'm saying? He's one that he's just going off the cuff, whatever comes to his head at the moment, he's just busting his gun off and letting it go,
Right, because remember when people were questioning his mental state,
right?
He called himself a genius.
Right.
And which
and that's like the epitome of a crazy person would say some shit like that.
Right. And
like, I'm not crazy, I'm a genius.
What's funny is that right after he said that, Wile E. Coyote started a trend.
Super genius.
Wile E. Coyote. Super genius.
But it's like part of insanity is like delusions of grandeur.
But Kanye calls himself a genius.
He might be a little bit crazy.
I think he's a little
he
bit
might
crazy,
got a little crazy in his. You see what I'm saying? Like, now, although I'm here with stroking my pet like a super genius, do I believe in my mind that I'm a super genius? No. I mean, I know a lot of shit though, but
Yeah.
I'm not a super genius. That being said, this motherfucker is like, he's a maniacal. He's not even the genius. He's just a maniacal madman.
Yep.
That's it. A megalomaniac.
Coolest monkey in the jungle.
Oh, fuck.
H&M.
What's that stand for? Hitler and Manson? What the fuck is that?
You know, it's kind of funny how you see all these dudes on social media saying, I'm never going to wear no H&M again. And it's like, what men wear H&M? I know they make some men shit.
Yeah, well, I believe that, like, see, H&M is like Old Navy for grown-ups. So I believe that you know, that generation that grew up with Old Navy, they created H&M for these motherfuckers when they got in their 20s and all this type of shit.
Okay.
Because I've never even thought about walking in H&M. I thought it was all girl shit for a minute.
Yeah.
But then I do know some younger dudes that go in H&M. And so I went in there with them one time, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what kind of shit this is. That's the type of place you go, like, to supplement. Like, you could like mix that in with your designer shit. You see what I'm saying? Like,
It's like rainbow for men.
basically,
Conway
like,
for
I didn't
dudes.
know, I didn't know Forever 21 got men's clothing in there. Did you know that?
I did not know
Forever 21 got men's clothes, and I wouldn't have known that.
I don't own none of that shit.
I don't
in my
either.
closet, I have no Forever 21. I have no
don't
H&M.
either. I'm just telling you, they
know?
sell men's fucking clothing just like, but see, that's also the times we live in too, where they got men and women now shopping in the same fucking place, you know, very ambiguous as to what the fucking store is even about. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this H&M shit, yeah, I don't personally know nobody my age that rock that shit, but I do know some 20-something-year-olds that walk in there and they might get like something to, like a t-shirt or something to accent some other shit that they got, but not that they'd go in there and get a whole outfit out of there. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, it was interesting how no one said, "Hey, this dark-skinned black kid with a shirt
Within the whole corporate structure
said coolest monkey, you know, in the jungle." And I'm sure his mother was there, seeing all this. You know, you don't send your son to a photo shoot of this
Not
caliber.
at that age.
Yeah, when he's like, what is he, like 10?
Even if you had enough trust in, let's say, the agent or the manager,
No, you would
to
be
go.
there.
You would be there. But I'm saying, even if you did, those people should have a fiduciary responsibility to look out for your best interest and say, whoa, that's not cool. Like the photographer, did he or she raise any flags about it? The people in the art department. You see what I'm saying? When the ad went to get proofed, like, it goes to a boss and all of that. Like, somebody looks at this shit and says, okay, print that. But you know how many fucking people it goes through before it gets to that?
Yeah, no, it's a multi-billion-dollar company.
And so you telling me that none of these motherfuckers saw that and said...
Right. I mean, even at Vlad TV, there's about 3 people that see the video before it goes live.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, multiple people see. That's why you don't really see too many mistakes and stuff like that. And we're a tiny operation compared to H&M. Like, we ain't shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the mother went and defended H&M.
What?
Oh, you didn't know this? Hold on.
What the blood clot?
On her Facebook page, it says, I am the mum.
I'm the mum.
You know, because they're British, I guess. And this is one of hundreds of outfits my son has modeled. Stop crying wolf all the time. It's an unnecessary issue here. Get over it. That's my son. I've been to all the photo shoots. I was right. And this was not an exception. Everyone is entitled to their opinion about this. I really don't understand, but not because I'm choosing not to, but because it's not my way of thinking. Sorry.
Wow. Fucking screwed up, innit? Fucking crazy. Yo.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But see, that's you know.
She don't want to fuck up that relationship. That's what it is. She still wants them H&M checks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know their financial situation, so I'm not going to comment on it.
But see, here's the thing, so right now, for you and I, and for a lot of people who just heard that statement, that sounds insane. You see? Like, insanity is relative, though, because in her mind, what she said was perfectly right and correct, and, you know, whatever fucking shit she's standing on, she thinks that's the right thing to do. But to everybody else, it's apparent that this, or to a certain amount of people, because maybe there is a big segment of the population that does agree with her. But it's like, to me, that shit is crazy.
Right. You know, because I was thinking about it this morning. I was thinking when Trump called, you know, referred to African and Haitian countries and Haiti as shitholes, I'm sure there was a large segment of the population that said, hell yeah, those are shitholes.
Absolutely.
Fuck those shitholes.
Absolutely.
We were just talking about those shitholes yesterday. Yeah, Trump. That's why we voted for you.
And there's a large
4 more years.
That said, hey, look at that little monkey with that little fucking shirt on. He do look like a cool little monkey. What's the fucking problem? He is from the fucking jungle. That is where those little nigger monkeys come from, right?
And there you have it.
And there you have it. But then they had also other subliminal shit, like the white kid after him had a shirt said some shit like Jungle Survivor or some shit like that. Like some real empowering shit. Like, you know, like some real Tarzan shit. Like,
well, G-Eazy
and the Weeknd
both ended their relationship with H&M.
Now, see, I respect that. Because that's saying, I don't give a fuck about your money.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? You did wrong, and I'm not fucking with you. Like, I don't want to be associated with you. Now, I was going to ask you this question.
Okay.
Okay, because I know you're so much into stocks and all that.
Yeah.
You find out one of your stocks is down with some foul shit. Are you still, but it's making you hella money. Do you stick with it?
Well, let me put it like this. Very fair question, and I'll answer it based on a real-world example.
Right.
So, we found out last year that B&H Photo Video, which is the biggest video store in New York, that we spent a lot of money on. Most of the equipment in this room right now,
right, it's from B&H. And I'm going to tell you, I've gone to B&H a lot. My father swears by B&H.
Exactly.
And we know it's owned by Hasidic Jews, but go ahead.
Exactly. And we found out that there was a series of lawsuits by minorities at B&H, basically saying that they were treated as substandard, you know, to the Jewish people at that company. They weren't allowed to use the same bathrooms and, you know, and so forth, to the point where I believe the state actually filed a lawsuit against B&H.
Really?
Yes. And so we decided as a company that we were no longer doing business with B&H.
Nice.
Yeah, we completely stopped doing business with them altogether. Whenever we have a product that we need, we try to find it somewhere else.
Nice. That's crazy.
So like
I'm going to be honest with you, I just spent money with these motherfuckers.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a huge, high-profile case, but we found out, we looked at it, it was legitimate based on the state and everything. It wasn't just like some random person who got fired who was like, no, it was like a class action lawsuit with a bunch of people.
Right.
We have decided as a company that we no longer do business with B&H. The end. And it causes more hassle for the company. It probably costs us more money because they do have better prices. But we decided based on the principles and based on the people who work here that it would be unfair to keep doing business with a company like this.
Now, I feel that, right? But that's a little bit different when you're spending money with the company as opposed to the company is making you money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
If I found out that Google was a racist company and so forth, I would sell my Google stock.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because when you're getting, it's one thing to say, all right, I'm gonna boycott this, but when they're getting you money, big money, then it's like, now you got to make decisions for real. You see what I'm saying?
Well, and here's the thing, though. Like, here's the thing. In 2018, nobody's the only game in town.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I sell off all my Google stock and I move it into Facebook and Amazon or whatever else. Whatever. They all do about as well. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I have everything in one company and so forth. Like, you know what I mean? Like you know, and that's what these companies have to realize, that people just go somewhere else. You know, if you give people a reason not to fuck with you, there's 20 other companies that are saying, come fuck with us. We don't do this shit. You know, so.
Right, well, people gotta, you know, we need more examples like this, like a Weeknd, like a G-Eazy, of, you see, to me, that speaks more volumes about what you're about than like trying to make some freestyle or a song about it and all this other. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're doing some real world shit. You see? You're like, fuck you, fuck your money. You fucking represent some fuckboy shit and I'm not with it.
Right.
Thank you, but no thank you. I'm out of here.
Right. And this is what comes from having a financial base and having a real savings and so forth.
That allows you to do shit like that. To do
shit like that. Because if the Weeknd was,
fucked
I don't know, let's say DMX, you know, that's barely scraping by, got the IRS on their ass and got 20 baby mamas filing, you know, child support charges. You know, would the DMX end his deal with H&M right now? You know what I'm saying? He may not. No shot at DMX. I'm just talking about someone in that position. The Weeknd is chilling. Like, how many tens of millions of albums he sold? G-Eazy is popping. He can make a decision like that, and it won't really make much of a difference in their lives. And this is why I've always said you're going to make better decisions if you have money.
Well, for a greedy motherfucker, it would, because you always want more. You see what I'm saying? So, to a real greedy motherfucker, they'd be worrying about what they believe they lost. You see what I'm saying? When it's really not affecting you like that.
Yeah.
But they're like, damn, I could have had that extra, you know, an extra fucking car or whatever the fucking case may be. You know?
I mean, listen, I've said this before. We've turned down $30,000 offers to do paid interviews at Vlad TV. You know, and to the average working person, you know, I mean, this probably sounds insane.
Right.
Because, you know, if you make $30,000 in a year and you're talking about, well, what's the problem? You do a 1-hour interview, you get your check. Like, shit, I had to work my ass off all this year. But for us.
Who were these people?
Yeah, it was just nobodies. Like, you know, people who are paying, you know, who didn't do the work to make it onto this platform and are trying to take a shortcut with their money. Right. And we feel that it would cheapen the brand. It would take away all the work that we've done over these last 10 years. Right. You know what I'm saying? And
well, I'm only my second episode in, so I would take 30,000. You want to do an interview on Yanadameen Godcast for 30 grand? I got you. Holla at your boy.
Yeah, man. That's what it is. So, I've chosen not to speak on this before.
Okay.
But, you know, but today I got time, cuz.
You got time, cuz.
I got time, cuz. But today I got time, cuz.
Your speak pun.
So, when Taxstone got locked up, someone had created a video basically claiming that my interviews were part of his indictment. And I was cooperating with the police.
I hear these claims about you a lot.
And, you know, and a few media outlets picked it up, right? There's this one fuckboy at The Ringer who actually had to, you know, wrote a whole article about it and say, oh, and Vlad's interview was actually in Taxstone's indictment. We had to actually go send legal papers to The Ringer, and they had to do a retraction and so forth. But I never really spoke about it, because I felt it wasn't really my place to speak about it.
Right, but today you got time.
Today I got time, because let me make sure. There was a podcast called Reality Bites, or So Shameless. Reality Bites is the guy's name, but it's called the So Shameless podcast. Okay. They actually called Taxstone in jail and asked him the question.
Asked him about his paperwork.
Well, asked about me.
Okay.
Let me play it for you.
You did a few interviews with Vlad, and they're basically saying that the police have been using. They're basically saying that Vlad is a snitch. Like the internet is saying, "Oh, Vlad is a snitch. Don't fuck with him." This, that, and the other. They're saying that he's working with the
Vlad
police.
is a civilian. Vlad is a civilian. So I don't understand how people could come to the conclusion that Vlad is a snitch. To my understanding of, street codes or whatever the things that people go by, a snitch is a person that portrays a certain lifestyle, a gangster lifestyle, or makes a vow to live that lifestyle or principles, and then they go against that code. As far as I know, Vlad has always been a civilian, so I don't understand how Vlad could be a snitch.
All right. Well, is he? I don't want to go too much into something, so please, don't go too far because I asked you a stupid ass question. I don't want the shit to be used against you. But is he cooperating as far as you know? Do you know that?
Is who cooperating?
Vlad, with the case against you. They're saying that basically the police are using him against you. I don't know if that's true.
Do not listen to everything that the internet says. You understand? The internet is the internet. What it is now is that you have a freeway of free reporters, people that have not been trained to report, people that are not trained journalists, and they just speak on things that they have no idea about. They come up with conclusions and incorrect hypotheses on things, and they just say things. Vlad has nothing to do with anything. You understand what I'm saying? As far as I know, with my situation or anybody else's situation. You know what I mean? That's just people talking. It's poppycock. You know what I mean? The internet, they say anything.
There you have it. I didn't speak on it because I felt that this was this man's job to speak on it if it ever came up. And I was gonna call him and say, hey, let's do an interview about people calling me a snitch because this man is facing serious charges.
Right.
I'm not going to interview him at all at this point. Like, you know what I mean? If I have a conversation with him, it'll be a private conversation. Like, he honestly just needs to stay off the media, period, right now until his case, blows over. But this was done outside of my control, but we chose to put it out to basically let people know. What's
and
your
exonerate you. Well, first of all, I say shout out to Taxstone because, he was like a real motherfucker that was doing the podcast shit, and his energy is kind of missed, and that's another reason why I kind of need to do it because they need that real energy in this game. Also, shout out to my man and rest in peace, Combat Jack.
Yeah, rest in peace.
But a lot of people, come on, they know I fucks with you.
Yeah.
So certain people will be like, yo, your man Vlad is a snitch. He be snitching on nigga. I'll be like, yo, how?
Yeah.
Like, yo, how is he? Well, he be having niggas sit up there on his couch and be telling on himself. And I'm like, first of all, what these people choose to admit or not admit is on them.
Right.
It's not like this man is like...
There's no hidden cameras here.
Right. Or like, it's being piped into the police or some shit simultaneously as we're doing this. Like, I ain't never heard about nobody walking out of a Vlad office after doing an interview and then getting cuffed up at the elevator or downstairs or some shit. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so a lot of times people hear people describing, maybe incriminating themselves in a video, but it's not like you're forcing them to do this. That might be just their, not being careful with their own words, not doing the knowledge before they do the wisdom. Now, is it possible that a smart DA or somebody could be like, do their homework and be like, this motherfucker went on a few places. He did an interview of Vlad TV. Let me see what he said on there. They go watch the fucking video.
Right.
And maybe this motherfucker did admit to a murder or some shit they didn't know about, or a robber or some shit. Statute of limitations is still good. Maybe we'll use that, but that's not snitching, okay? And also, like he said, you a civilian. Like, snitching means... you living this gangster lifestyle, you running with some gangsters, y'all doing gangster shit together, making bread. Now you get caught and you tell on the motherfuckers that you was rocking with.
Yeah.
Or even, right? You might be even living a certain lifestyle. You don't rock with these guys, but these are your peers in a way. Y'all might even have beef with each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, but y'all both took that code, that gangster code of how we gonna rock. So in order to get rid of you, snitching can't be one of the things to get rid of you. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
It got to be some other kind. And I'm not saying, death and all that type of shit is not cool. And we don't want that. But that's an example of real snitching. Like when you live in a certain type of lifestyle and then you tell. Because you knew what consequences came with that lifestyle when you
Right.
started doing the shit. So don't try to fucking tell now. But as a civilian, you're not bound by those fucking codes. Like, you know what I mean? Like somebody who's not a 5%er is not bound by the same codes that I'm bound by because they don't know. They're not into that. That's not their culture. That's not their way of life.
Yeah, man, listen. Taxstone just said it himself. I have nothing to do with this case.
Right.
Nor do I have anything to do with anyone else's cases.
Right. I mean, but listen,
It is what it is.
Yeah, motherfuckers, trust me.
Yeah, but motherfuckers, yeah, I mean, people, like, there was literally, like, a video floating around that made it, here's a paperwork, and here's this arrow pointing, and it looks all official, and I'm looking at this fuck shit, and I'm like,
Oh,
a couple of people,
some fake paperwork?
yeah, some fake paperwork type shit, and it's like,
Wow.
oh, man, like, for real.
Because that's what the streets want to see, too.
Yeah, they wanna see
Be like,
paperwork.
let me see the paperwork.
Right, there is no paperwork.
There is no paperwork.
There is no paperwork. It doesn't exist.
It's fake paperwork.
Go look up the indictment. Look up the actual paperwork. Look it up, please. Go ahead. It's publicly available.
Freedom of Information
Freedom
Act
of
and all
Information
that.
Act. Look at the indictment, man.
There you go.
And like I said, man, I was not gonna say. I've not said nothing for a year.
Right. And you
Because-
could have said, hey, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
Try to defend yourself.
no.
This
Because-
man just spoken
because-
for you.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
because honestly, Taxstone situation is serious.
Right.
People talking shit about me is not.
Right.
I could take it. I'm built for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I signed up for this. I don't give a shit.
And see, that's this. You see?
Yeah.
Because you're not a civilian to this shit. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So you signed up for this shit.
I signed up for this shit.
And just like a motherfucker who sell drugs and decide to pick up his gun and do all this stuff, they signed up for that. And once they made that choice, not to say that, we as original people, especially here in America, we're often funneled down a certain road, but at the end of the day, we still all make choices. You see what I'm saying? And once you choose to go a certain route and be that motherfucker, then you gotta accept what the shit that comes with it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Taxstone, man. I hope, I've actually heard good things about his case.
Well,
I
that's
heard
what's
that
up.
that case is not as strong as people think it is.
Okay.
And from what I heard, he'll probably have to do something.
Right.
But it ain't like
Crazy.
crazy. I heard his trial's like next month or something. There's supposed to be some court dates next month, man. We're definitely gonna follow it.
Peace to
And
Taxstone.
shout out to Taxman because he didn't need to answer any of that shit. He could have
Right.
just said no comment and kept it moving, and people would have continued to jump to But me and Taxstone have always had a very dope relationship ever since we met. I remember our first conversation. We started talking about all the same people we didn't like, and all the same people didn't like us, and it was just sort of like this cool thing, man. When he was in LA, I took him around, got him some weed, you know what I mean? We rolled around in the Tesla, like hung out at his man's house, like he's done a bunch of interviews with me, man. I genuinely was very sad when I heard about his predicament, man. So Cardi B and Offset. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, Offset keeps getting caught with various females. I guess his phone got hacked, and girls be going on and saying this, that, and the third. And Cardi B said, Cardi B said, I might as well stay with him. A new guy would cheat also.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's be smart. Let's be smarty, Cardi. You know what time it is. Nothing's changed. Now that you're a celebrity and all of this type of shit. And it's just, we spoke about this before. Mm-hmm. Just about relations with men and women. There has to be a reality here. We got to stop trying to live in some sort of fantasy world that doesn't really exist, you know? And I think people would be a lot better off that way. Like, you think, how old is Offset? 20-something years old?
Yeah, maybe late 20s.
A nigga in his late 20s with a few $1 million, okay? Fame.
26 years old.
26 years old.
Hella young.
Hella young. Living his dreams.
Cardi's 25.
You really think that your pussy is good enough to make a motherfucker just drop all of that and be like, I'm gonna only fuck with you forever? Like this, at 26, you trust me, that's not a good age. That's not a good age to even be trying to do no shit like that. I feel like a man is more ready to settle down when he gets to about 30.
Or 40.
He said 40. Well,
Yeah.
for a lot of people I know, 30 was
Yeah.
like a slowing down point.
30,
Like,
30.
okay, you know what? Can't fuck them all.
Yeah.
Let's chill. You see what I'm saying?
And here's the thing, man. Like, I think Cardi even said it. You know, this guy put a $500,000 ring on my finger. Like,
Who's gonna do that?
Who's gonna do that?
Who's
Who
gonna-
else? Who else is gonna put that type of rock on Cardi's? Really, any woman's finger.
Nobody. And yet there's still, you're gonna fuck with a new nigga. He's still gonna have broads on the side and all this type of shit. You're gonna go through his phone, you're gonna see something. You keep scrolling to the left. That's it. You're gonna see some shit that you don't want to see.
Right, exactly.
She ain't ready for it.
And look, man, at the end of the day, a marriage, a real relationship, is not based on sex.
Thank you.
It just is not. It is based on partnership, it's based on friendship, it's based on respect.
Somehow, but see, and that's where they'll say, well, respect is what you're not respecting me. If fidelity and respect and love are all different. Yeah, they're different things. Definitely the fidelity part. Like, that doesn't determine your love. That doesn't determine the strength of something. And again, you know, it's like they got you playing a game, but they gave you the wrong rules. And so now you're playing by rules that are not even truly applied to the game that you're in. You understand? Yeah. And that's fucked. Like, how could you ever win? You could never win if you don't truly know what the rules are. Like monogamy and all of this type of shit is the way to go, the only way to go. But we got to understand why that was introduced, okay? Especially to black people and original people. You know, the way we reproduce is very fast and very strong. So it's advantageous to people who don't reproduce as well to try to slow up your process of reproduction. Yet these people who, you know, these same people that tell you to practice monogamy, right? They'll refer to the Bible and all of that, right? But all the prophets in the Bible had multiple wives. And
Right.
shit like that.
Multiple wives.
Wives.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that about?
You know?
Okay, like.
Not side chicks, wives.
Not side chicks, wives.
Yeah.
And see, this is this thing, like, I think motherfuckers do the side chick thing because they're not allowed to have more than one wife, so they'll just take what they can get. You understand?
Right. You go to Utah, it's a different story.
Thank you. Like
You go to Africa, it's a different story. You go to any Muslim country, actually.
listen,
it's
just
a
like
different
Elijah
story.
said, you know, if you watch the Malcolm X movie, he had the clean glass of water and the dirty glass. If a man is very thirsty and you order for him a dirty glass of water and there's no clean water, he's gonna drink that dirty water. But now if you give him the choice between the clean and the dirty, he'll pick the clean every time.
Yeah.
You see? So a lot of women like, yeah, but men they just want pussy on the side and the wall. If that's all they can get, it's not like you're gonna allow him the peace of mind to say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna set up household with you and her. Like how they do in many fucking countries. And there's no fucking problem because that's how they fucking came up. You dig? And so now he can have more than one wife, and as long as he can take care of them both, it's cool.
Right.
But since you're not giving him this option at all, and he knows that this is a natural, this is his God-given right, he gonna do it by hook or crook, whether you know about it or not. So stop it. Just stop it, okay? Now you're tearing apart families and, you know what I mean? Cutting off your nose to spite your face and all that type of shit. Knock it off. Yep. Ain't nobody else giving no $500,000. And now we're just getting back to Cardi. And when I say that, I'm talking to all women though. Ain't nobody else giving that $500,000 fucking engagement ring. Yeah. Ain't nobody else gonna treat you like that. And guess what? That might be something you have to deal with, but is it the worst shit in the world? No.
Yeah. And I interviewed Cardi.
I feel like people don't even love me anymore for Bacardi, Belcalis. Like, people love me, Cardi B. I feel like sometimes people don't even love me for me. Like, I feel like people just love the clout. People like the fact that, like, yeah, my girl got money now. Like, my girl is a get money bitch. My bitch gets in here. My bitch is right there. It just made me feel like, wow, am I ever going to find real love for me? Like, is anybody ever going to love me? And I just be feeling like, sometimes I even catch myself, like, telling the guy that I'm dealing with, like, you don't love me. You just love me because I am who I am. Nah, the reason why you don't leave me is because I am who I am. Because I be doing fucking grimy shit to these guys and they don't leave me. And it's like, why you not leaving me? Because I am who I am?
Like grimy shit, like what do you mean?
I be doing my thing. Like, I be playing games. I play games. And it's like, I bet if I was a regular bitch, like, cause it's like, oh, guys be telling me like, no woman ever did this to me. No girl ever made me feel this way. No girl ever shitted on me like this before. And it's like, so why are you letting me do this to you? Why are you letting me do this to you? Because I am who I am? That means you don't really like me because who I am. You like me cause Cardi. You know what I'm saying?
So, Cardi may be, doing her thing on the side too. Who knows?
And if so,
he might be okay with that.
Maybe.
It might just be par for the course.
Maybe. And if so, if they happy.
Yeah, man, it's none of our business. Who gives a fuck?
Nope.
Lupe Fiasco said that Kendrick Lamar is a phenomenal storyteller, but not a top-tier lyricist.
Bugging.
He's bugging?
He's bugging.
What exactly is the difference?
What do you mean?
Between being a phenomenal storyteller and a top-tier lyricist. I mean, a story, you kind of need to be a lyricist to tell a story in a song format.
Him that. You see what I'm saying? From what I understand, his real thing, he's talking about punchlines.
That's being a lyricist.
Huh? No, that's what he said. It's about punchlines. I don't believe punchlines as being a lyricist.
No.
Punchlines are having punchlines. But there's plenty of lyrical shit that is not necessarily a punchline. You understand? There's double entendres and all kind of shit that doesn't necessarily have to land as the punchline.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the whole thing. I'll put it to you like this. K-Dot is not a top-tier lyricist to me and my standards when it comes to punchlines and bars. His overall lyrics are good. His stories are phenomenal. But punchline, entendre, lyrically, I don't see it. So being a lyricist has to do with punchlines and bars.
What I'm saying is, there are lyricists that are about, yeah, you do have to have punchlines, don't get me wrong, but there's some rappers that's all they're about is punchlines. Every line is a punchline. Then you got lyricists, like Rakim is a lyricist. Listen to the shit he was saying, he seep into the pen and all, but those aren't punchlines
Stories.
He's giving you. Not even necessarily stories.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You see? Because he was talking about sinking into the fucking paper like he was ink. You see? Like, that's not a story of something real, but it was lyrical. Yeah. It painted something.
Right.
But again, it wasn't punchlines,
Right.
like how a battle rapper would
Yeah,
have
like
punchlines.
Black Thought had punchlines in that freestyle.
Right. But you see, but he's the type that commits punchlines with some other like lyrical shit. You see? So I don't fully agree with that. Like I know, I mean, to me, the nigga Kendrick is super lyrical. Is he super punchliney? I mean, maybe I can agree with that. He also went on to say that, you know, he thought Control was whack and super overhyped.
Right,
now, I didn't think it was whack,
Yeah.
but I did think it was overhyped.
It was overhyped. Yeah, I mean, he said, "I've never been destroyed." Also, the only issue that the world thinks I have with K. Dot, and I actually do this, that I think that his Control verse was whack and super overhyped to be a verse claiming you are the best rapper. It was very weird. I was told it was just bait, but still.
Right. I mean, I'm not upset with that part of it.
Yeah, I mean, he
other
said
than he's saying that it was whack. Like, it wasn't whack, but it was overhyped. And
Because he said, "I'm the king of New York."
right. I mean, that's the part that stood out.
Right,
to
which
me.
is a corrupt line. We went into
Right,
this
but
whole
yeah,
situation.
it was just like, it didn't need to be said at that time. Nobody wanted to hear
No one
that.
wanted to hear that. Yeah.
Especially people
New
from New
Yorkers.
York.
Yeah.
Right. But that being said, you know, first of all, I've heard some unreleased shit from Kendrick, you know.
Really?
Yeah, Busta got a song with Kendrick that's coming out on his new album.
Crazy?
That is phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. Both of them,
Yeah.
bravo. Like, seriously. Like, yeah. So I'm already knowing that this motherfucker is lyrical, super talented, and I just can't fully agree with that statement. But at the same time, the homie's nice. What's his name?
I like Lupe a lot.
Yeah, Lupe's dope.
I like Lupe
Lupe's
a lot,
dope.
and I feel that he's dropped gems on his albums. Like, I've never heard a whack project.
But he hasn't been on the radar like a Kendrick lately. You see what I'm saying?
You know what
Like,
it is? I think like he's almost like anti-industry because like he dropped this last album, but he wouldn't do any press. He wouldn't do any interviews. You know, because I remember I went over to Atlantic like, "Yo, come on, like I fuck with this dude." He's like, "No, he don't want to do nothing." So it's like, you know, you got to get on the road and get your message out there. You can't just say, "I dropped a dope album."
Right.
Y'all just
it should be on the strength of that.
Absorb it. No, like you got to go out there. Like I remember, you know, I talk to Kanye's people sometimes, and they're saying how Kanye was one of them dudes that said like, "Yeah, I think my shit is dope, but I'm gonna get out there and grind it out. I'm gonna go on these promo tours."
And that's
and
what
I'm
made the difference for him in the beginning.
I'm gonna open up for whoever. Like, you know, he was opening up for Talib Kweli. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like you look at him now, clearly there's a difference in level. But at the time, Talib was the hotter rapper, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm happy to be here." Like, he was going out there and working. You know, you can't just sit back and throw a project out and just hope, you know, the world just figures it out. You know what I mean? You just can't do that.
This is true.
Speaking of Black Thought, because I think that
Speaking of Black Thought.
the freestyle happened after our last interview.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to say, first and foremost,
Oh shit.
considering that at the end of that freestyle, Flex said one take, I might have to say that might be the best freestyle that I've ever heard. Can't even front.
See, a real man,
It was that good.
a real man can admit when he's wrong.
Yeah.
He can admit when he's wrong.
Yeah, listen.
And there's
listen.
nothing wrong with. Matter of fact, that makes you a stronger, better man.
Yeah. Me and Black Thought, after we put out our comments, Black Thought reached out to me and we spoke
Oh,
about
he reached out to me too.
Oh, he did.
Trust
Oh,
me, that
okay.
whole interview, that we had actually helped to fuel what we heard.
So I was right. I assumed that, but he told you that? Well, or you're just...
I know this, okay? I know this.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, okay, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to get into all details, but
Yeah.
we did speak, you know, via, you know, DMs and shit like that after the interview.
Right.
And, you know, he was just kind of like, yo, good looking for standing up. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, you know what I mean? Your shit crazy. Like, you know what I mean? then after he did the flex shit, he DM'd me. And he was like, thanks, homie. You know what I mean?
So there we go. We put a battery in his back.
He was like, told you so, or some shit like hashtag told you so. Yeah. And he said, and there's more coming.
Hey man, listen.
And I said, I'm just laughing. You just proving me right. You got me looking like a prophet over here, my dude. Listen. Thank you. Send.
When me and Black Thought were
shout out to Black Thought. And we
Black
got
Thought.
the same theatrical manager. Shout out Lillian LaSalle.
Boom. Yeah, man, listen. I think what was so dope about this whole situation was that I put what I put out there. You know, I stood behind it. And, you know, when he reached out to me, he said, hey, man, listen, I'm a little surprised because I'm actually a fan of Vlad TV. And he even pointed out there was like this freestyle and sway. You know, he's like, yo, I shouted you out in this one freestyle. And I looked it up. It's like, you know, he was just like, yeah, when I see you, it's on site, like Vladimir. Like, oh, okay. He was saying on site, website, Vladimir. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, I'm like, oh, shit, I never even caught that. Like,
that went over my fucking head.
Yeah, it went over my head. Like, I'm like, good looking out. Like, and he's like.
Because it wasn't a punchline necessarily. It might have been a lyrical line that you see.
Yeah. And, yeah, man, he started telling me all the shit that he's been working on. I guess he produced the Hamilton album, which won a Grammy.
Yes.
And, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, he's like all the various projects he's working on. And it was like, I think it was dope for two OGs in hip hop. You know what I mean? Me and him that have been doing it for a long time, him doing it longer than me, you know, could just sit there and not take shit personally. You know what I mean? Speaking on it, I was like, oh shit, well, I'm a fan of you. And, you know, I'm a little surprised you said that, but okay, you know. And then, like, act on it without, like,
a bunch of fuck Vlad and all this other shit.
Fuck you.
Nah, you know what?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think I'm one of the nicest? All right, well, then I'm going to have to fucking show you.
I'm going to have to show you.
That I am.
Right, because clearly.
And he's not done.
Yeah.
He said he's not done.
Right. Because,
this is what y'all don't understand.
Right, because, yeah, a lot of people did disagree with me, but some people also agreed with me. You know what I'm saying?
Who the fuck agreed with you?
People agree with me.
I don't know. I ain't seen one motherfucker agree with you. Everybody was like, yo, your man Vlad be bugging.
Well, it is what it is. So, luckily, you know, we helped trigger some dope-ass art. You know what I mean? And we can't take credit for it because clearly that's his skills. That's his skill level, but we put a battery in his back and we put certain things out there to make a motherfucker step it up. And that's what we should do. We should inspire each other to do better, to push to push the envelope without name calling and, you know, acting like 5-year-olds and I'm gonna fight you when I see you for saying that. I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna kick you. Like,
prove me wrong.
Grow
I'm
up.
Man enough to say, oh,
grow up.
Wow.
Yeah, to everyone out there that wants to fight me for my opinion, grow the fuck up, man. Stop it. You're not gonna fight me. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna do nothing. You know, step your shit up if you feel that I'm wrong.
Right. Show and prove.
Show, and then when that happens, I will give you your props. Because as a hip hop critic and a person in the culture and so forth, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and it's never with any bad intent or whatever else. And I even told him when we were talking, I said, "Yo, I love the Roots. Like I've been buying your albums since y'all dropped them. You know, I just feel like, you know, X, Y, and Z. You know, but shit, prove me wrong." And boom, he proved me wrong.
With a hell of a, oh my goodness.
Yeah, man, that was the freestyle of the year last year.
Woo!
And that I can't think of a better freestyle actually. Not in one take, because I really thought, because, you know, listen, you know, full disclosure, we've had some freestyles on Vlad TV that we've had to splice together.
Of course.
And I'm not going to say who, because that's not what we do.
Right.
But Flex said one take. I said,
and that shit was like 10 minutes long.
Like 10 minutes, yeah.
Like, who remembers all that shit like that?
He did his thing. Recently, Russ went on, I think, Montreality. And...
Who?
Russ. He's a rapper.
Okay.
From, I think, Jersey. He's got a bunch of poppin' songs. Like, he's definitely like we've interviewed him before. I think a white dude, kind of long hair.
Okay.
But he got some dope shit.
Okay.
I'm not going to take nothing away from him.
All right.
But he said everyone likes to say that, oh, you know, if Biggie and Pac were alive today, you know, the game would be different. But he's like, no one really knows if Big and Pac would have stayed hot into their 40s. And he started bringing up examples. So look at DMX. look at Wayne, who's not even in his 40s yet, and people are already kind of like writing him off. And at one point, he was one of the hottest dudes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, depending on how you look at it, you could or could not say he was at a Big and Pac level at his height. You know what I'm saying? But he was definitely in the area.
Was the rapper at one point.
The biggest rapper at one point, just like Pac and Big were the biggest rappers at one point. So I think it's a fair comparison.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Like, what do you think about that?
I think there is something to that.
Yeah.
You know, people do a lot of speculation. It's easy to say that because they're not here.
Yeah. And it's easier to be the hottest dude in your 20s than in your 40s.
Right. And it's easy to believe that, you know, somebody's wave is going to keep going. But, you know, sometimes the momentum is not there, or sometimes it comes against, you know, an opposing force that stops the wave.
Yeah.
And who knows what that could have been. I mean, Tupac, you know, in a lot of ways, he was his own worst enemy.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't this, it could have been some other thing that he came that's to stop his momentum. It didn't have to be a life-ending thing. It could have been just
jail again.
Yeah, maybe he killed somebody or some shit. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, who knows
Pac
what would have happened? Yeah. Like, it's possible.
You know, or Biggie, same type of thing. You know, maybe some altercation happened, or you know, whatever. Some new young dude comes in and just starts shutting you down.
Or in the times we living in now, like these, you know, rape allegations, and you know, it could have got crazier, you know, and especially Tupac. One time, if he was to get charged again, that would have been like super crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. They would have really tried to put him under the jail. Or just sometimes people don't stay hot like that. Like sometimes people lose that fire that they had. Like they just run out. You know, certain stars burn very hot and fast and bright, but then they have a shorter lifespan than other stars.
I remember I interviewed Scott Adams. You can't duplicate a one-hit wonder.
Right.
Right. In music, anyone, and I mean anyone, can create a hit record. The musical ability, the training, the person's voice, all that does not matter. Like, I've seen it over and over and over again by completely untalented people. They create a very catchy song, or they have a certain look, or they have something that just resonates with the audience.
It's a million monkeys with typewriters.
Yeah, exactly. They'll create Shakespeare. If you have an infinite number of monkeys with an infinite number of typewriters, they will eventually create Shakespeare.
But a lot of those monkeys are going to write a hit song before anybody does Shakespeare.
Right. But when you look at the Lil Waynes, the Jay-Z's, the Bob Dylans, the Beatles, the Michael Jacksons, there's a specific reason why they've been able to create hit record after hit record after hit record after hit record. The Princes, I mean, the list goes on and on. These are not the same people who are creating the one hits.
Let me test that.
Okay.
Why do they all stop after the age of 40 or so when you would think their talents are at their highest?
I've always wondered about that.
Right?
I've always wondered, I wonder why Bob Dylan stopped making hit records.
He still makes music, lots of music. He's and you know, when was the last time McCartney had a major hit? And who has more skill, resources, good ear, every possible checklist thing you could think of? McCartney has 10 times more than anybody else. Why doesn't he still put out hits? And the answer is that there's something about the environment and the artist that has to match. All right, and as people age out, you know, they're no longer matching the environment in whatever way, either physically by age, they're not appealing to young people, that might be part of it, but they may just not be tuned in anymore. Like they don't feel the angst, they're not hungry, they're not in pain.
But they're rich.
Rich is a real problem with creativity.
Yeah.
I gotta say, because being hungry and angry is really good for creating.
Yeah.
Really good.
And when you're worth $50 million, you've now isolated yourself a lot more than how you used to live.
Yeah.
You see, because when you were fucked up, you had to be amongst the people in order to live. You know, when you worth 50 million, you got a fucking mad acres and shit, and you're in a gated community, and you know, and then you got your you know, and you might be the type of motherfucker that you don't like to go outside, and you just stay. Your whole world is there now. So now you're not experiencing life, and you can't talk about life necessarily the way you did when you were younger and you're old. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, and you know something? That's okay. You don't have to be in the limelight the whole time. You know, take your money, raise your family. You know, I think one of the most interesting things I heard in the interviews when I interviewed Tito Jackson. So you dropped your first solo album at 62. Why did you decide to wait this long?
Just life. You know, I got married at 18, and I was doing an album prior to that, and my father moved us, you know, away from Motown to Epic, and that whole thing. I had babies, and I thought, you know, why chase a solo career? I'm busy as heck with the Jackson 5. Plus, I got to be a father, raise these 3 boys I'm having, and be a husband too, and a Tito Jackson career. On top of that, just wouldn't allow me the time. So I chose to be a father and do all the things fathers do. And I said to myself, I will always have time to do a career. And, you know, now it's Tito time. I got the time now.
I think it's great that, you know, the work that you did as a young man allowed you financially to have the time to raise your children.
Absolutely. Did it when the time was necessary and did what was necessary.
That's cool, man. Not everyone is supposed to be in the limelight, you know, and has to go through all that shit that goes with it. Just is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's some sort of beef with him and Casanova.
Right.
There was like a little video.
Yeah, I saw that.
Looked like an altercation with Tekashi's people, and Kaz
Casanova
was.
didn't step to, he didn't back down.
I know Casanova. Like, you know, he came by the office the other day when we interviewed this boxer, Javante Davis. He was with him. You know, me and him kind of had a conversation. I like Casanova a lot.
I like him too.
I like his energy. We had a epic interview. You know what I mean?
Did you hear his song that he got going against?
Dope.
Yo, that
Well,
shit
is that? I mean, is that a Tekashi diss record? I'm kind of thinking
I
it's
thought
not.
it was.
He didn't mention his name.
But he's talking about snatch your flag and all this type of shit.
Yeah, but that could be talking about. You know, I mean, listen. If you're not saying names,
yeah.
and let me say, like, Casanova's far from scared. Like,
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? If he's not mentioning names, I'm not going to call it a diss record.
Okay, well, I like the record.
Yeah,
but whatever it is.
Tekashi was on stage saying Casanova, fuck your bitch, or some shit like that.
I heard something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Kaz went up and said, I got 9 months left of my probation or parole.
Right, don't try to sucker me into.
Yeah, you're not going to trick me back into prison.
Right.
It's smart, but he should be thinking beyond the 9 months also.
Right.
Because
you don't act like after the 9 months, I'm going to be a terror after that, because they'll pull you right back in. Like,
I mean, honestly, I kind of like both of them. You know, I mean, me and Tekashi don't know each other. Mm-hmm. You know, we've never met. We've never had a conversation. But I kind of like what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, the young boy energy.
Yeah.
Whenever you're able to mobilize a lot of, you know what I mean, motherfuckers in your hood and all of that, and it's some real hood shit, you kind of got to respect that. Like, you know, that was that Bobby Shmurda type of energy. Like, that's kind of what he had going on. Just a bunch of little young, real street motherfuckers that he was mobilizing. Like, when certain artists are able to do that, yeah, there's something I kind of like about that. But it's, you know, at the same time, you know, it's not necessarily my cup of tea. Like, you know what I mean?
Not mine either.
It's a lot of yelling
Yeah.
on the track, and I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
although Casanova rhymed like that too in a way, but so about Casanova,
well,
I just like his shit.
well, let me say this. Like, I don't think Casanova really needs anybody. Like, I think Casanova's kind of his own one-man army.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Casanova looked like he wasn't calling his people, like, you know, like, I'm not like this.
He ain't no little motherfucker
You see
neither.
me, when I roll out, I got someone thorough with me every time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not planning on fighting nobody. You know, someone's there to take care of those problems for me, right? Casanova doesn't need security, even though he has security with him to just protect him from some fuck shit, you know, so he doesn't get hemmed up in it. But at the end of the day, Casanova can handle his own. Tekashi seemed like he needs some people around him. A one-on-one
like a smaller
fight,
guy. Like,
he's a smaller guy. A one-on-one fight between Casanova and Tekashi is going to end really bad for Tekashi. Like, you know what I'm saying?
and that's why guys like that be talking about popping motherfuckers because they don't want to fight. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they be just ready to just let it fly. And see, that's some new school shit. Like, when we was younger, you almost had to fight. Like, you had to fight.
Yeah.
Like, even if you thought you could win.
Me and Willie D, we had dinner the other night out in L.A. And we were talking about how
Ghetto Boys, Willie.
Ghetto Boys, Willie D, yeah.
Love that, bro.
Yeah, cool dude, man. And he was saying how people, you know, he said when he was younger, he used to fight so much that people thought that he was on drugs or he was just had some sort of anger problem. But what he said was interesting. He said, no, he said the problem was that in my hood, if you lose a fight, that motherfucker's gonna keep fucking with you. That motherfucker's gonna own you. Like, you know what I mean? He gonna keep bullying you over and over. And I was so scared of that situation happening that I would just fight everybody. Older guys, bigger guys, it didn't fucking matter. And people, I started getting a reputation for thinking I was crazy for fighting these types of people, but I was so scared of being bullied and owned. I had to go home and see these people every day that I would just go all out. I'll say this about Tekashi, man. Like, people are already fucking with you. You don't really need all that extra shit. And all that extra shit is going to get you put in a very bad position. You know?
I mean, I heard a interview where he said, I want people to test my gangster. And I'm like, bruh. You don't want that. Like, there's always going to be somebody more gangster or more something, whatever the fuck.
Right. You also,
somebody trying to be.
You also got to worry about those people around you turning against you. You got to really, really worry about that. Like, when you see me out, I have one guy with me. Maybe two at the very most, and they're both friends. Like, you know, they're my friends as well. I don't do this big entourage shit. I don't do this 20, 30 people, because let me tell you.
You can't vet them all, right?
I can't vet them all, and whatever they do, like, I know if my man stabs somebody, I'm going to get sued. And you know, I'm also going to have to handle all his legal bills. I'm going to have to deal with the ramifications of what happens to him and his family afterwards and so forth. You know what I mean? And we have very serious talks before we go out. Like, listen, like, we're on the defensive. We run into this person, we're not going to rush into them. We're just going to hold back. And if they try to approach us, then okay. But like, having these big ass entourages that are out fucking with Casanova and, you know what I'm saying? And are out wilding out and so forth. Like, number one, you can't support all those people financially, number one. They're going to get you in trouble. They're going to do some shit, and you're going to get blamed for it. And once they stop, you know, once you stop supporting them the way they feel they should be supported, then, you know, you start acting funny, you know, you start changing and acting different, them motherfuckers will start turning against you. You know what I mean? You might go and get fucked up by your own people on camera. You know, because he says, like, oh, I'd never get knocked out on camera. Maybe by an outsider, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, how close of a relationship do you have to these people? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I guess, you know, you're going to find out soon because, you know, he's definitely blowing up. He's definitely somebody people keep talking about him, keep hearing his name and hearing the record on the radio and all that type of shit. So it's like, all right, we'll see.
We'll see.
You know,
we'll see. You know, and I feel like he's using like the Young Thug kind of blueprint. He's kind of playing with the gay shit a little bit.
With the rainbow hair and all that type of shit.
Yeah, and even And
He
this
says
is,
he don't discriminate against gay. He says a lot of that, but I ain't seen
Well-
him wearing no dress or no shit.
well, him and Ugly God FaceTimed academics while they were cuddling in bed. And I hit up academics. He said, yeah, that actually happened.
What?
And he said that they were probably trolling, but it was still kind of fucking weird. Like, and let me tell you, if both them dudes came out the closet, I don't think anyone would be super shocked. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anyone's, oh no, not those guys. We thought they were straight. I mean, I've interviewed Ugly God. I don't think he's gay, but if he came out as gay, I wouldn't be totally surprised. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
Ginuwine,
Oh,
he rejected a kiss from a transgender.
right. And
on
now
Big Brother.
he got sexually harassed, and now he's getting basically abused for it. Yes?
Something like that.
Yeah. Like they mad that he wouldn't kiss the tranny, yet the tranny aggressively tried to kiss him against his will. The same shit that the Me Too movement and all this type of shit is supposed to be about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because it's a tranny doing it, that doesn't fit into your little storyline of how you're trying to set this up to make all heterosexual men fucking evil and barbarians and shit like that. So since this wasn't a heterosexual man doing it, it's cute and okay. And actually, Ginuwine should be the one to be looked bad at because he's not accepting this person as a woman. And even if it was a woman, who says I want to get kissed by you? But whatever. So now we're victim blaming over here. The same shit that y'all fucking complain about, y'all doing it right now to the homie Ginuwine over some bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I want to kiss a transgender.
Why would you?
Yeah.
See, all this shit with the transgender shit, it's almost like when you trying to piss on my head and tell me it's raining. Like, I know that that's piss. I can smell it. It's yellow. It's warm. It does not feel like rain. I know you're a man. You got a beard. Your Adam's apple's bulging out your throat. You're not gonna fucking tell me that you're a woman just because you've decided that in your mind. You're not gonna tell me that your piss is rain just because you say it's rain. And what's crazy is if I go along with this and, oh, you know what? That is rain. That is rain. You are a woman. It's the same concept. Like, so if you don't want to take golden showers, okay, why would you want to get kissed by a transvestite? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I was trying to figure out why it was even a big deal. Like, okay, he don't want to.
Because
Kiss a man.
it goes to how they like to frame shit and they have a what is it? What am I trying to call it? A storyline or basically the storyline is so many people are intolerant of gay people and transgenders, and we're constantly discriminating against them. So they tried to put this into that bag without even looking to say what was happening to him. The fact that they determined what he was doing was discriminatory to a transgender because he's saying, no, I don't want to kiss a transgender. He said, well, it's not trans. I'm a woman. That's what the motherfucker tried to say. And if you would kiss a woman, then why not kiss me? Well, motherfucker, you're not a woman. Just because you say you are. Okay? But in, you know, the party line, the politically correct line is to never discriminate against anybody gay for any reason under any circumstances. That's how they're trying to set it up. You know what I mean? So if a fucking, you know, one of these motherfuckers try to, you know, well, they've already tried this on you, Vlad, right? You've had multiple attempts and shit. But if they really get crazy on you and walk up to you and fucking squeeze your ass or some shit like that, and you turn around and backhand slap this motherfucker, you gonna be the one in the wrong.
Am I? Because
that's the way they gonna look at it, because you have assaulted a transgender person, an LGBT person,
right? But
and you didn't like that, because if Halle Berry came up and walked and squeezed your ass, you'd like that.
Well, right, but
the fact that he was transgender and he did it and you did not like that,
right? But
makes you the barbarian?
Isn't squeezing my ass considered sexual assault? So
I'm kind of trying to kiss Ginuwine against his will like a sexual assault.
Well, if they actually did it, I guess. But
he tried to kiss the man against his will. I didn't see it, but I'm assuming the homie had to do one of these. Had to hit him with the Heisman. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's the same type of shit. It's the same type of shit. And all I'm saying is, the way they're trying to set it up, the climate they're trying to create, is that you would be in the wrong for not allowing this motherfucker, for acting any other way but, you know, laughing about it or something, you know. They want you to act coy, like, oh, stop it. The fuck out of here.
All right, because I think, remember that one black chick that was the pro-Trump black chick? She's like a singer. You know, she's wearing like the Trump dresses on the red carpet and all that. She said she was like sexually assaulted by one of Trump's, you know, you know, people.
Supporters.
You know, it wasn't, you know, it was like a campaign manager or some shit like that. He squeezed her ass or some shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And that's considered sexual assault. Terry Crews actually filed charges, I think, for sexual assault.
They squeezed his meat.
Yeah.
That was even crazier.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And yeah, I think he said that Russell Simmons tried to like get him to drop the charges or something like that, or
oh yeah,
yeah, something like that. And Russ got a few more charges now. Got a few more, but he's claiming that like a woman tried to get $500,000 out of him, try to extort him.
That's where they fuck up at, because now you fucking up your credibility by doing shit like that.
Right.
If you're gonna come out with this shit, then just come out with it and don't even try to get no money, because that makes you look shady. That makes you look like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man. If you're gonna do it, don't do it.
Shouldn't be about the money.
Shouldn't be about the money. It should be about what's right.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If someone did something to your daughter, would you be like, well, if you pay me, I'll make this go away?
Ain't no amount of money you
right.
can pay.
Exactly.
Ain't no amount of money.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah. But see, people are opportunists. And so they see an opening, they see an opportunity, and they're willing to trade off their, you know, humanity and morals for a little bit of paper.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember I was talking to Godfrey yesterday. I don't think Michael Jackson really molested those kids. But what type of parent would let their child spend the night at a man's house that's not related to them?
It's Michael Jackson, so he's not no average person. It's the greatest entertainer ever.
Okay.
I would want to meet Michael Jackson. I want to be in the same room as Michael Jackson. I think those kids, you remember when you would sleep with your parents? Like, you want to be in the same bed with it's your parents. Michael's a cool character. Yeah, let's sleep in the same room. He probably has a big ass room with a bunch of beds. I'm going to sleep here. It's Michael Jackson. I don't think he molested anybody. I think they wanted to take Michael down. They wanted to take Michael down because Michael had power. Michael owned catalogs. They wanted to find a way to take his ass down. He's a black man. I don't give a damn how light he got. They got old pictures of him. He's definitely a black dude. They wanted to take his ass down. I'm sorry. I don't believe that shit. They wanted to take him down, man.
And my thing is, like, I don't actually think he did it. Based on people I've talked to that were inside, that have been at his house with their kids and everything
Corey
else like
Feldman is screaming how these Hollywood motherfuckers was raping the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Why would he omit Michael Jackson?
Right.
And go out of his way to say, no, he didn't. He's one of the only ones that didn't rape me. Like, come on.
Right.
Like, seriously. That don't make no fucking sense, B.
Did you see the Dave Chappelle special about that?
I didn't see the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Some of it.
He said he didn't think Michael Jackson was trying to rape them kids. He thought he was just stunting to them kids. Like, oh look, I got a gumball machine that makes 1,000 different gumballs. Like, oh look, you've been to the zoo? I have one at home. It's like
He's just stunting on
I
the
have
kid.
every video game ever created.
Right.
It's like.
That's a stunt
And
audience.
it's like, and the kids is like, so Mike, you gonna rape us? Rape you? What's up with you faggot ass kids? They trying to rape y'all?
I just wanted you to see my shit.
I was trying to stun
See
on
all the
y'all.
shit I had.
What the fuck?
Oh no.
But anyways, my thing is this. I've always had a big problem over parents leaving their kids at Michael's house.
Yeah,
unattended.
That's weirdo shit.
You know what I'm saying?
But again, that goes to money and
Yeah.
the power of money and fame and but yeah, that's weirdo shit. I'm pleased.
Yeah, man. You have a
give a
lot of
fuck.
a lot of bad parents out there, man.
And you ain't got he ain't got no seeds and you leaving him over there like
Right,
that.
yeah,
like,
this man got no kids.
I could
At
see
the
if
time,
he
had no-
had seeds.
Yeah, okay. We're leaving him at this man's house to play as a play date.
Right, with the other kids.
With the other kids.
Fine.
100%.
We understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to be a little leery if when I come to the crib, Michael's in the sandbox with them. It's like, whoa. The fuck are you doing? Like, it's a little weird here.
It's a little weird, man. I never felt that part, and I always look down on the parents.
And even if he was innocent, it still was some weirdo shit. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, I love the kids, but god damn it, I don't love the kids. I don't want to hang out with them like that, like every fucking minute, and we watching cartoons.
And honestly, like, what, like, just take a step back. Like, what grown man wants to hang out with a bunch of 10-year-olds? Like, guy in his 30s hanging out with 10-year-olds. Like, what are y'all gonna talk about?
You'd be hard pressed to find a male kindergarten teacher. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? That's the thing.
Mostly, yeah.
It's mostly women.
Absolutely.
Huh, okay.
Actually, we need more male teachers at a younger age to teach our boys and shit. But yeah, you'll be hard pressed to find you. They're out there, I'm sure, but you're gonna be hard pressed to find them.
Fair enough. You also don't see male nannies.
I was gonna say this the other day, male midwives.
Yeah, mannies, I think there's a term for it.
Yeah, like a male midwife or doula, somebody that actually not a doctor, a delivery doctor, but a midwife.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
There's the rumor that's been going around for a while about Oprah running for president.
Right.
Would you vote for her?
I don't know about that.
Because it's Oprah, because it's a woman?
Nah,
or
because
what?
I'm not really the voting type. I mean, y'all pulled me in with that Obama shit the first time around. That's the only time I ever voted.
Oh, so really?
Yeah, the first time.
And only time.
Probably the only time I ever will vote again. Yeah, but, could it happen? Would America vote her in? Absolutely. Would she get in as the first woman above Hillary?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because she's likable. Like, Hillary was just not likable.
She was not. And I remember me and Scarface were talking about this on the phone once about how when it came to black people in that last election, black people didn't really have a dog in the race because, the Clinton administration done fucked a lot of black people up with the, you know what I mean, with their jail, jail laws and everything else like that, which they even admitted later on that
maybe we did fuck up.
Maybe we did fuck up, the super predator shit, everything else like that. But let me ask you a question. Who do you think has more of a chance of winning the presidency? Oprah or The Rock? See? It's not an easy answer.
Now I see what's cooking over here.
Right. The Rock is cooking. I recently found out The Rock is actually half black. I didn't know that. I thought he was Polynesian.
No, but
I thought it was like, whatever, Tongan or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's actually half black, half Polynesian.
And Polynesian is just a lighter black.
Yeah. Rock said that he's not going to run in 2020 because he already has a bunch of movie commitments.
Okay, well then, why are we talking about this?
But 2024.
Just as a hypothetical.
Right, and in general, you know what I think it also is that in general, people don't really want to run against a second-term president because most times they lose. Most presidents do 2 terms. There's only been a couple presidents throughout history that have done only 1 term. And usually there's been some sort of weird reason around it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, this might be the 1-term president.
This might be the 1 term.
This guy is...
Right. Like, for example, like George H.W. Bush, he lost to Clinton because Ross Perot came in and split his vote.
Right.
See what I'm saying? There was a specific reason. Jimmy Carter lost because he was just a super weak president. Like, but it doesn't happen very often. George Bush Jr. had 2 terms. Clinton had 2 terms. Obama had 2 terms. Reagan had 2 terms. It goes on and on and on. You know what I mean?
Okay, if you're going to put The Rock against Oprah, I'm going to have to say The Rock would win. You know why? Because white men would support him faster than they would Oprah. And that would be the difference. White men.
Which is the majority of the voters.
Yeah. White men. They'd rather get behind him than fucking Oprah.
George Bush looks great right now.
He looks great right now. Like
you know what I'm saying? He
we thought that was as bad as it can go. We thought that was as dumb as a president can be. Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Income.
You ain't seen nothing yet. This nigga said, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Remember Bush responded to the Kanye, George Bush doesn't, care about black people.
Right.
He actually said, it's just not true. And actually when you look at his inner circle, Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, these weren't people that are getting fired after a couple months like Trump's been doing it. They were there both terms the entire time. Like, those were his confidants, and they...
Now, I'm not going to say he's not,
Racist?
Racist, yeah. I mean, he's a good old boy,
Yeah,
Texas. And, you see what I'm saying? He's just, might be not as apparent as who we have now.
Yeah.
And that's ironic because this guy's from the North. You see?
From New York, yeah.
He's not from fucking the deep South or some shit.
Yeah.
But he's coming with some real fucking racism that we ain't seen since, Mississippi burning or some type of shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Because I think that unlike Bush, I think Trump believes that the racists are his core voters, and he doesn't want to piss them off.
Right. And
You know what I'm
he
saying?
won't admit that they're his core, but
Yeah.
he knows that's his core.
He knows. Whereas Bush, I don't think really was on that shit. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, the
Well,
racist
here's
white
the
dudes
thing.
call-
I believe Bush is the type to embrace elite racists, whereas Trump will embrace those down-home, blue-collar racists. You see, there's a difference. Like Bush seems like the type that, the racist he fucks with, they own like laboratories and shit like that, and they conduct experiments on black people and shit like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Those type of motherfuckers. Oh, don't act like that's something that don't happen. Like there's a statue right now in I don't know if it's by Columbus Circle, but one of these statues in New York City where this white guy was conducting like experiments on black people, and they were talking about should they move this statue, and they're gonna move it to a cemetery where he's buried or some shit like that, but right now it's in like a park or some shit like that. And then you got the Tuskegee experiments if you move forward in time.
Yeah.
So now you think after that it just stops?
The Nazis were experimenting on Jews during the Holocaust. You know, they would see what happens when a woman gave birth when her legs were tied together, and you know what I mean, just like horrific.
See, so don't think that type of shit. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you know, you got elite racists that's out here doing some real covert shit. You know, they're putting out products, you know, with slow poisons in them and dispersing it to the community, and you know, mysteriously that brand will only be found in the hood, you know, and nowhere else. And we think that, you know, it's just some shit. I feel like Bush is the type to support those type of motherfuckers. Trump will support them and your fucking local militia, you know, that's fucking straight up about that straight up, you know, barbaric racism as opposed to sophisticated, yes, we don't like black people and we're going to get rid of them in the most, you know, the most convenient way.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. I mean, experimenting without anesthesia.
Come on, B. And gynecology, they was doing abortions, all of that.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Sticking
just tongs up there and ripping it out. Come on, B. They didn't give a fuck. They was cutting out uteruses and all kind of crazy shit. Probably performing, you know, circumcision, female circumcision, all of that.
Yeah, crazy.
Come on, B.
Crazy, man. Well, yeah, take that motherfucker's shit down. Put it in a museum. You know what I'm saying? Because certain things have historical value, but a statue in a public place is something that's revered and respected. You know what I'm saying? As a symbol. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, take them generally these shits and put them in a fucking Smithsonian museum somewhere. I don't. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to erase history. I'm not saying make believe this motherfucker never existed. You know, Lee who? Like, you know what I mean? We don't know.
We're not going to exalt this motherfucker.
No, he's not going to be in a public place where people look at him and you know, look up to him and so forth, which is what a statue should be. I mean, people were talking about taking down the Christopher Columbus statue in Columbus Circle.
Yeah, well, that's what all of this was about, because they had a story, because de Blasio decided to leave it there, but now they're going to put little plaques around it, you know, talking about the indigenous people and I guess some of the shit that Columbus did to them. And now the fucking Italian, you know, Columbus, Knights of Columbus or whatever, they don't want those plaques. They don't want you to know exactly what Columbus did, all this fucking, you know, crimes against humanity and shit like that. They just want to fucking have them up there and let you keep celebrating them, you know. Why wouldn't you want that up there? You see what I'm saying? If that's what he did, why are you trying to hide that?
Let's just say it was found out that Martin Luther King was a pedophile, right?
Well, they say Martin Luther King was a womanizer.
Womanizer.
And he loved white bitches.
Really? Okay. Nothing wrong with that. That's not illegal.
No.
That's cool. No. I mean, at one point.
But it was contrary to his message of.
Was it?
Listen, his message as far as being a Christian and a minister. He was Dr. Martin Luther King, the minister, who had a wife and all of this other shit. So, you know, for you to be a moral leader and then doing something that people would consider is immoral was, you know.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Okay, I got you on that. Let's just say that it was, you know, and I'm just speaking, there's no truth in this at all. But let's just say that it was found out that Martin Luther King was a pedophile. Would you say that all his statues and, you know, the memorial in Washington, D.C. should be taken down?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're not excluding yourself from.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm not a Martin Luther King. You needed to pick somebody better for me.
Well, I was right.
Because I'm not a Martin Luther King guy. You
Right,
need to say
right.
something about, but they ain't got shit for Malcolm.
That's what I'm
Or-
saying.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
For the
why I
people
didn't-
that I look up
That's why I
to, they
didn't
ain't even
say-
got statues for them.
That's why I didn't say Malcolm X, because I couldn't think of a single Malcolm X statue.
Because there
anywhere.
isn't, well, there are, like up at the Autobahn, but not nothing that's so like,
There's Malcolm X statues?
there's a Malcolm X statue in the Autobahn
Autobahn.
ballroom. That's where he got killed at up in Harlem.
Okay,
and
but
now
not
it's the
outside.
Malcolm. No, it's inside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, not outside.
Right, but it is a statue, is what I'm saying. It's
It
the
is.
Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz Cultural Arts Center, I believe it's called now.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a life-size statue of Malcolm inside there.
They named. Wow, they made a cultural arts center at
Of
the
the
place
place
where he got killed. That's kind of
Yeah, it's
weird.
it's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they even got the spot where it's weird.
Yeah, weird.
But anyway, but yeah, like I can't exclude my heroes as well. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if anything, this kind of goes back to like the Bambaataa situation. You see, he's one of my heroes. I'm still not saying that with any certainty that the allegations that, you know, were against him are true or not. But all I'm saying is if it was ever proven to be true, you know, I definitely would have to adjust my perspective of how I saw.
Well, you already
This
have
individual.
because you admitted that the guy, the bee stinger dude,
Was somebody that he didn't know.
somebody that you knew.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you basically are saying that, you know, this is not just some weirdo who's never met Bambaataa claiming to have this, you know, all this stuff to him.
Right.
And Bambaataa said, I don't know who this guy is.
Right, and that's what made it shady for me.
Made it shady
You
for
see, but it's not like I ever seen anything happen.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is, if you lie about that, you're making yourself look shady.
Right,
Because
yeah,
what else are you lying about
Right,
now?
well, that's what happens in court. The judge instructs
They'll
the jury.
get you on one lie.
If they catch the person lying
On
the
anything.
the jury could basically disregard the rest of
If
their.
you
their
say
testimony.
you fucking brush your teeth with Colgate and really it's AIM, motherfucker, they got you.
They got you.
Okay, now that's opened up a whole fucking can of worms as far as your credibility is concerned.
Yeah, man.
You know, so that's why I like to just keep it 100. You understand? You keep it 100, motherfuckers can't fuck with you.
Yeah, man. Well, Lord Jamar, always a pleasure.
Vlad.
My man.